85. Wednesday, clouds and some intervals of sun. Still a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. High 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Thank you, Joe Lundberg. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Beautiful looking Tuesday out there. There is rain, as he said, but, we just deal with that. It's Florida, right? And it's summertime. Summertime.
There you go.
Sorry. I'm sorry. This is the serious segment, isn't it?
Yeah.
The serious segment. Kevin Christian is here. Of course, he's our friend and the public relations officer and the coordinator of the television media productions for Marion County Public Schools. Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome.
Putting that in writing so I didn't have to stumble over it. Dr. Heidi Maier is the superintendent of Marion County Public Schools. And
Hello.
Hello.
McFly.
Dr. Maier and Kevin are here to talk about schools, I guess. You're hiring right now, right? That's what I heard.
We are.
Yeah?
We are.
A lot of people applying?
There are.
Do you need any radio announcers?
Sure.
We did hire 2 TV production teachers over the summer.
Did you
Oh,
really?
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And you know what we're finding, though, is the traditional way of recruiting, where you would go to events or you would go to colleges and universities, set up the table with a tablecloth and hand out things. It's not working. But what's working is the virtual recruiting through social media platforms.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Isn't that weird? I wonder why the old-fashioned way doesn't work anymore. You would think it would.
Well, look at recent graduates and their age, the younger kids, and they're
Yeah,
more comfortable with social media and
On the phone.
but we hired a full-time recruiter, so Rosemary Corpy, and she is out there every day finding people who want to come to Marion County and be champions for kids.
Well, that is interesting. How far away do they come from, or might they come from?
We had someone interview for an administrator position from either New Mexico or Nevada.
Wow.
As a doctor.
Oh,
Wow.
excellent, excellent.
So they hear about us from far away.
So does does that help? And I don't even know there's a better word for it than help, but like when we have like foreign tea or foreign wine or imported wine, that's the word, right? It's imported. It must be better. So when you import somebody from Nevada, do they have like this air about them?
Well, I think they bring different perspectives and different styles of teaching, different styles of learning even. I think that's the advantage of that someone outside of our area, outside of what we would call our environment.
Do you know what was weird? Can I share this with you and then we'll get back
It's
to
your
school
show.
stuff? It's true. But all right, so I used to play colleges, and I know you know that. And I only did it for 3 years. But when you play colleges and they want to introduce you, they'll say, "Well, where are you from?" And if you're in Florida and you say, "Well, I'm from Ocala," they'll say, you sound like you're from New York. Are you from? Yeah, I'm from New York. Oh, okay. And then they'll go on the stage. All right,
From New York.
From New York. He's like, and I'm in Daytona, and they're telling everybody I'm from New York. I'm thinking, well, okay. It sounds better, I guess, right? From New York.
You came all the way from New York.
Yeah.
All the way.
Yeah.
And the same thing is true the opposite, by the way. If you're playing New York, they say, where are you from? Oh, I grew up here.
All the way from Florida.
I live in Ocala. Oh, Florida. They don't know Ocala.
Well, as an audience member, I guess that makes you feel more special because someone came that great a distance.
So that's what you should do. Next time you play the Marion Theater.
All the way from Columbus, Ohio. That's where I was born. So-
No. Use Tennessee because that's more musical sounding, right?
There you go.
True. Right? Okay. All right. Heidi, where were you born?
I was born in Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever asked you that before. Where does the name Heidi come from? Do you have that sounds like something from where would Heidi come from? Like the Bavaria
Swiss
or something?
Alps?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there a reason for that?
She had pigtails as a child and drank lots of hot cocoa.
There you
Yes, I don't know. My dad liked the Shirley Temple movie, Heidi.
go. Oh, I love that movie.
That's what they
that's
told
the
me.
story?
That's what
Yeah.
I
my
love
parents
that
told me,
movie. That
so.
was so good.
Oh, that is sweet. I like the earrings today.
Oh, thank you.
What are they, roses or flowers?
Yeah, they're Betsy Johnson.
They're
Betsy
beautiful.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Robin.
You talk about school security. That has come up so much lately with our guests that we've had on, and they all have given you both kudos
Yes.
for instilling the program.
Everybody recognizes the decision to lock the doors as the most ingenious thing, which was awesome. The whole Alice
Protocol.
protocol, yeah.
It's life-saving. We know that, unfortunately and fortunately. And we will continue with that. We've updated our training video with some new information, so all of our employees will once again watch that and be trained in that protocol and learn some of the new information that's been added. But we will continue using that, continue locking classroom doors, and obviously have lots of additional security this year as part of that new law.
And that's called the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Act.
It's the long name. Basically, it requires either a school resource officer or a school security officer or a guardian at every public school.
And do they all carry weapons?
Yes, ma'am.
That is excellent. That is excellent.
So there was a story this morning regarding homework, and Dr. Maier, you were quoted as, I'm not going to quote, I should quote you, shouldn't I? I don't think I have your quote in here, but I'll paraphrase that. You basically said the communication wasn't as good as it could have been, right, regarding the homework?
Right, and so we are enhancing that communication outreach, and actually on August 1st, we have a new website that is being launched that is going to link the community and families to what's happening in our schools. Now, our teachers do a great job of communicating, and this is just another tool to help families. So when you go to our webpage, marionschools.net, on August 1st, at the toolbar at the top, you're going to see a book. So we're going to say, look for the book. You click that, it takes you right to the website, which will be updated once a month on the first of every month, and it will share information, again, on what our K-5 kids are doing and learning in schools, right down to the standards, so that these conversations can be had. And under the direction of our new Director of Elementary Ed, Jennifer Beck, she has organized next year that every student, K-5, will be learning the same standard, the same cluster. So in K-5, on 1 week, they'll all be learning main idea. So that if you encounter, maybe you're going for lunch in the mall and you see a youngster, you can say, hey, what are you reading? Tell me the main idea. And it won't matter if that kid is from K to 5. They'll all be doing main idea. So this is a great conversation starter for these kids. So not only for families but communities, because we're really going to encourage the community to embrace our kids, to help our parents, to inspire our parents to be more involved as well.
And I didn't misunderstand what your directive was when you first said about the homework. And so when I read that it was misunderstood, I was wondering why. Because I clearly remember asking you, does that mean no homework at all? And you said, no, a teacher has that discretion. You had some kind of a condition or something like that, right?
Actually, I called it freedom to teach these kids, and that's always been what I've said to our teachers, that we give you the curriculum map, we give you the tools to use, but how you teach that's your gift, that's your talent, and that's why we hired you to do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
Will there be more parent-teacher conferences then? That way the parents will be able to be one-on-one with the teacher to see exactly where their child is standing.
Well, we encourage our families, always to reach out to
available.
our teachers.
Yes,
Absolutely. And again, that student portal, that's the direct link from family to the classroom, where the parents can see at any time what assignments are out there, what the grades are. But nothing beats sitting down right across the table from somebody and having a great conversation. So that's always welcome and encouraged. Yeah.
Let's see. The next talking point you have is the area directors. What are they?
Sure. Our district is now divided into 3 geographic areas, and
really?
they're really a communication liaison between families and schools. They will help facilitate problem-solving resolutions if parents can't, or parents can't resolve those issues directly with the principals. They'll help with district initiatives and communications, pushing it out to those schools. It's just another opportunity for quicker resolution when people say, oh, well, I can't get anybody to call me back, or I can't get somebody to answer my email. That's one of their responsibilities.
Are they physically located in those 3 areas? The 3 people?
They're physically located in 3 different areas. Yes,
okay,
they're not all in room B of building 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And how did you select the 3 people? to be the area directors.
Well, they are three of our previous principals with not only a great track record of being a highly effective principals, but also they're great people persons. So they've got that interpersonal skill as well as an academic skill set.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, they're great people. So great leaders and highly respected by other principals. And that, you have to have that principal buy-in too. So.
And the students too. They
the
probably have a
communities.
huge
And their school
bond with their
communities.
students.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you have a relationship with your principal in school? Were you close to your principal? Did you know him at any school at any time?
I knew my principals. I wasn't close to them because I wasn't in the office a lot. But I knew Mr. Keatley was the principal.
Yeah. Who was
Mr.
the person that did the discipline in your school when you were a kid?
Mr. Jude. He had a manual typewriter. And that's what he typed up.
That's what you remember?
Yes.
Did he paddle you?
Oh, no.
Not you. Did he paddle anybody?
I'm sure, yes.
I can remember one time being told to go down to see the assistant principal, and it was like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what I did.
Did you get paddled?
I was afraid of it, but it didn't happen.
Oh.
And I wasn't afraid of it because I thought it would hurt, because I think, I'm bigger than this guy is. How bad could it be? But I just remember being embarrassed that I had done something that would cause them to say that to me, to go down to. And when I got there, I made him laugh. I couldn't believe it. I was talking to him and he laughed. I said, wow.
Did you get in trouble?
Not really.
Okay.
No, whatever I did, I must have
Wasn't that bad.
I must have made him laugh it off.
Well, and then you do have new principals this year. You gave us a press release on that with their
15 or
names
16
and
of them,
everything.
yes. We have lots of new leaders at different schools. We have 4 that are, I call them homegrown. They grew up here, graduated from our local schools, went off, got their education, and are now back here in Marion County and come up through the system, and now they're leading their
Is that
respective.
right? You know who was here yesterday? Judge Sarah Ritterhoff Williams. Yeah, she was here campaigning for her position, and oh my gosh,
I
she's
just
such
know her as a mom in our district.
and she's so nice.
Yes.
I've only met her actually at the media
Yeah,
festival,
she's been a long-time participant.
and so I got to actually get to know her a little bit.
Yeah.
Doing the interview. So yeah, and she was
locally homegrown.
Yeah, became a rather impressive person in our community, right?
How do you choose?
She's a booster club mom too.
Oh, that's excellent.
I said to her, "You're so sweet. Are you sure you want to be a judge?" I know she's already a judge.
How do you choose what principals go to what school?
Oh, well, there's lots of factors. Of course, if there's a slot at a school, but then you have to look at the personality and the skill set of the person and the community of the school, and is it a match? It has to be a match. So there's a lot more than just, well, you're next on the list and here's an opening. We don't look at things that way anymore. There's got to be that fit so that that community has somebody that can embrace it and encourage and nurture it, as well as keep it to the high expectations that we need here.
Is the hiring of a principal done the same way with the virtual thing?
Well, we actually we do, but we also had a great principal pool. I think we talked about that one time when we were here, where we had the principals come on in, and we had them from out of state and across the country, and that again, the virtual way is great, but it's just so nice to sit down and talk to somebody and hear about their family,
right?
and their what they like to do on the weekend and what they're reading, as well as again their track record and proven effectiveness. So.
But then you also have assistant principals.
Yes.
That you have to assign to different schools.
And there are lots more of them than there are principals.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. At a high school, you may have 2 or 3 assistant principals over different areas, discipline, curriculum, instruction, different different areas.
I
So
didn't
that's
know that.
experience for them. And then once they get that experience, typically assistant principals will move around to elementary, middle, high school to get the different experience at different grade levels. Then they go into that principal pool, if you will, and become principals at some point.
And
if
do they work
decide.
closely with the guidance counselors then, the assistant principals?
Oh, yes.
Could I one day dress up as Chewbacca, and then Like you just put me like as a prank assistant principal in a school. Like tell the disciplinary one. I want to be the
We
disciplinary.
would have to scan your driver's license to make sure you're allowed to be a campus visitor.
That's it, and then I can be there. So
We can talk off air.
send a kid down that has really not done something that bad. Maybe he flung a rubber band in class, right?
Why don't we not? No, let's go a different mindset. Let's take the kids who do the right things every day. 98.5% of our kids who do that.
Okay.
And let's
All right.
reward them
Listen
with a
to you.
Chewbacca visit.
I like
Oh,
that.
there you go.
All right, and send me down to Chewbacca.
Absolutely.
Send them down to Chewbacca.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I tried to be Chewbacca, but I couldn't dance? I am not lying. I went to Disney. They were hiring, right? And they had a place for Chewbacca. I said, well, he's a tall guy. Let me try. I could fit into that costume. That was before I gained weight. But anyway, so I went, and everybody was there that looked my height. They were all tall people, tall guys. And then they said, okay, let's see you dance. And one guy's dancing. I said, holy cow, listen, dance. Then they said to me, can you dance? I said, no. Oh, my gosh, no. So I said, never mind.
I didn't know.
You just said I'm out of here?
I was out of there. $6 an hour, by the way, is what it paid at that time.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$6 an hour to dress in a hairy costume and dance.
Was it air conditioned?
I didn't actually get the costume.
There's only one costume that is air
Is it
conditioned.
the Beast?
The Beast, yes. That's
Really?
the only one that's costumed, yeah. Or that's air conditioned,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. That's pretty
How do you
amazing.
know that?
I don't joke.
When you say air conditioned,
They have a little air conditioner in it.
Inside the...
I mean, is there a drain like for the condensation?
Sure.
Where does it go? To the
It's a
feet?
little puddle out of that.
Oh my goodness.
You're leaving little wet footprints everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
The beast.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of families come by the window here at the mall, and then they're coming out with packages and things. So I think they're getting ready for their back to school day.
Back to well, the sales tax holiday is August 3rd through the 5th. So if parents and families want to wait until then they would save that 7% sales tax on the basic supplies. You can't go out and buy everything you want that's tax-free, but that's an initiative that the state sets forth each year. And
This is the time of year Robin and I earn the most royalties from our recordings.
Yeah.
Because we have a back to school special from 1990, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it still gets whatever, Spotify or whatever.
Do you just get a check in the mail?
It-
Or automatically deposited to you?
Yeah, it's a what do you call it?
I get
It
that
doesn't
too.
show up till
It's direct deposit.
like November.
Months later.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new teachers are going back to school. I know some teachers that they're all getting prepared now for their classrooms and things. Do they get to keep the same classroom that they left in the spring?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes not. And sometimes teachers change grade levels. Taught second grade last year. I'm teaching fifth grade this year. So usually those grade levels will be located in different areas of the school.
Oh, okay.
So they would change classrooms in that case.
And we've had teachers in professional development all summer. Our classes have been packed
Oh,
with these teachers
wonderful.
wanting to come in on their own and take these professional development classes. It's been very exciting to see them because we're rolling out that new reading curriculum. And so we've had teachers come even a few times, and they'd come once by themselves, and then they'd come again and bring their grade level teachers that are with them and just embracing what we're doing. And that's really exciting too. It's really exciting.
So they have assistants. They have teaching assistants, the teachers do?
The paraprofessionals.
Paraprofessionals.
And our
Yeah.
kindergarten classes have the full-time one, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's excellent.
So in addition to the normal supplies and everything, the immunizations.
Oh, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. Seventh graders especially, incoming seventh graders are required by the state of Florida to have an additional series of booster shots, if you will, or reinforcement, whatever you want to call them. And it's state law. And so each year, every school district, including Marion, we conduct outreach, and that we work with the health department, Florida Department of Health here in Marion County, to offer free immunization clinics. They did one this past weekend, and they've got a couple more coming up, where parents can take their kids in to get those immunizations without charge. Because if students show up on the first day of school, seventh graders, and we don't have record of those immunizations by law, they're not allowed to be in the classroom with other students.
Is that right? Wow.
So we
Wow.
have to take those students and corral them in the auditorium or the cafeteria or somewhere. Usually it's resolved within a couple of days. But those numbers, we've had as many as 500 or 600 seventh graders. Last year, I think we had around 250.
Wow.
So the numbers are coming down, but
Yeah.
it's still a big outreach. So, yeah, parents of seventh graders get their immunizations.
And is there a reason why they don't do it? Is it there's a religious
They don't
reason?
know about it.
They just don't know
think about it. They forgot about it. Yeah. We have the middle schools conduct outreach all summer long.
Are they
try
available for like low income people? Are they
Absolutely.
free?
They're free.
Oh, they are free. Okay.
Yeah, the health department. Yeah.
Okay.
And can we go back to something you said, because you mentioned school supplies?
Yeah,
So of course the schools put out the supply list, and that is something, of course, that is needed, and teachers need that. But we never want a family to fret that they can't afford, and we are so grateful to our Public Education Foundation with the Tools for Teachers, where the teachers can get school supplies. They can go and shop. In fact, there's going to be a big fair,
A whole
week-long fair where teachers can go in and shop and get items for their classroom. Teachers can also order through the courier system. So thanks to our Tools for Teachers, no family should ever fret that they can't send in school supplies, and no teacher should ever have to worry about putting out a ton of money for their classrooms. We do anyway.
Yeah.
Teachers will do it anyway, but it shouldn't be a burden on them. It should be a
Yeah,
joy.
yeah.
So we just want to mention that and give a thanks to our Public Education Foundation.
Yep.
And they're also doing the Stuff the Bus. They have two more dates. One is July 28th at the Walmart on East Silver Springs Boulevard, and the last one is August the 4th at the Walmart in Summerfield. So
And we thank the Veterans Council who sponsors that, and that is a great initiative on their part, and then they donate those items to the school system. So we thank them. We love our veterans. We love them.
you have your calendar all set for next year.
It's already online. We'll get printed copies. They'll come from the printer next week, so those will all be distributed to the schools in time for the first day of school. That's what we're planning on. But that calendar's already online, and graduations
Yes.
are already online for next year.
Oh,
Families
wonderful.
can make plans because you know that's a great day for
Yeah.
families, that
Yeah.
graduation day, so they can get the word out to families and
That's
make
true.
plans
I
now.
had no idea you did it that early.
So
Wow.
that's what we do over the summer.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah.
people think school systems close down and we don't do anything, there's all kinds of planning for the next year.
Well, nutrition is very important. How do you hire all of your staff to provide the school lunches for the children?
Food Services, Susan Johnson, we call her a rock star.
Yes.
She does a great job, and that's hundreds and hundreds of people involved with that, serving thousands of meals every day to our kids. Our kids get free breakfast through a special program that we participate in. Many of the kids are eligible for free and reduced lunch, 67%. So 2 out of every 3 students are eligible for free or reduced lunch. They may or may not actually take part in it, because the older a student gets,
right.
the less likely they are, because there's sometimes a stigma attached to that. But you go through any elementary lunchroom and you'll see those kids walking through that line. They're barely even tall enough to see the food, but when they come to that cafeteria worker at the end where the register is, man, they know how to punch their number in. They
Oh, that's wonderful.
enjoy that food every morning. Super donuts.
And do you have all of the schools chosen for the hurricane season? Because you do a marvelous job. when
Those
you
are
have
already,
to-
there are very strict regulations for a school to be a shelter. It must be hardened, which means it has to be reinforced when it's constructed. So we have, I think there are 14 facilities that we have that are eligible to serve as shelters. Of course, Marion County Emergency Management is the one who really dictates which schools open. So
Wow. So are you ready for some left field questions? Just some out of left field? Just crazy questions?
Sure.
Before we wrap it up? Okay. This is for you, Heidi.
Okay.
When was the last time you blew the seeds off of a dandelion?
Oh, yesterday. No kidding. No kidding. No, I saw one and I thought, how perfect with getting ready to go back to school. And I remember the meme I've seen on Facebook, is it a weed or it's a wish? And, it's all in your perspective, because you can look at a situation and just, be downtrodden and pessimistic, or you can look at it as an opportunity and just a way to change the world. So, yeah.
That was so completely unplanned.
Unexpected.
Yeah. I hope I can hit a home run with you as well.
Oh, gosh.
So, Kevin, your question is this. Have you ever slid into home plate?
yes.
Wow.
Second grade, Little League Baseball.
Yeah? You had a home run?
No.
All right.
And the school starts.
Monday, August 13th.
But then before that, you always have the initiation. The
Teachers come back. Yeah.
And then the students come in for their
Orientations. Yes.
That's the word.
We'll be publishing those later this week on our website. Yep.
Oh, excellent.
Put your
And
headphones
look for
on.
the book.
One more song. Can you name it?
Oh, I hope so.
I think you can name this one.
I can't. REO Speedwagon. Can't fight this feeling. E flat.
Oh, my gosh. See, I knew you would know that one. That was the one I had a feeling you would know, Kevin. Kevin Christian, Dr. Heidi Maier, thank you both. We love you both. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And for coming in here and helping us understand what you do. We'll be right
you so
back.
much.
This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. At least 50 people have died in 2 wildfires in Greece. Hundreds are being evacuated from beaches.
Flames were chasing us all the way to the water. It burned our backs and we dove into the water.
A Red Cross rescue team reports finding 26 bodies huddled together near a beach. President Trump may revoke the security clearances of some former national security officials.